What's going on, family? Kevin and Jesse here with you guys today with the Elite State of Mind podcast, where our goal is to always listen, learn, and grow. Jesse, how you doing today, man?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I am doing wonderful today. I am doing amazing. Family, what we are going to talk about today, do nice guys finish last? Well, before that, family, make sure you guys like, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube, Instagram, Facebook page. Tap that little bell so me and Jesse can take you guys to work every Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock. Do nice guys finish last, Jesse?
Yes.
Okay. I will be on the other side.
Okay.
Why, in your opinion, do nice guys finish last?
Well, for one, I don't believe niceness is a prerequisite of manhood.
Okay, that's fair.
At all. Because if we lose some of the edge that comes along with us being men, then we will operate in a state, in a system that we have currently today. Devalued, overlooked, underappreciated.
Okay.
Nice guys finish last.
I can definitely see the point. I think for me, the reason that I would say that ultimately the nice guy is going to come out on top is because in the battle of longevity, you might win today, you might win tomorrow, but by the time I'm 75, the nice guy is going to come out on top.
Okay.
Reason being is, as we know, just from some experiences in our own lives, the nice guy is the one they're calling on now.
Right.
The nice guy is the one with some resources. Not that, if you're not a nice guy, not that you can't have resources or be successful. But we have just seen that the nice guy is the one. And not that, he didn't have an edge, but he's the one that now you're needing the aid from. And maybe, what is your definition of a nice guy? Let me ask that question.
See, therein, right, is where we really get into it, because, the nice guy is the guy that is the go-along guy.
Okay.
Right? The nice guy is the guy that, will ruffle no feathers, who really doesn't have much to say, who doesn't have a point to stand on. Right, the ethics and the values and all of that, he will push it aside just to, be a part, to be liked, to get along with, and for that reason, no, the nice guy is going to finish last.
Now that I would totally 100% agree with. That if you as a man do not have some foundations and some pillars and things that you stand on, then you are normally going to turn out to be the bottom.
Right.
And that's not good.
Right.
For yourself.
Not at all.
The crazy part is that, like you said, now, it's always this, there's toxic masculinity and things of that nature. And here's the thing. Yes, if you were raised to walk in your house every Wednesday and pass out backhands, that's not right.
No, it's not right. But here's the thing. How can masculinity, one, be toxic?
Right.
Because the passing out of backhands is not true masculinity.
Right.
That's called an abusive individual.
Right.
So we need to get our terms correct.
Yes.
Right? The misplacement of terms is why people are looking at masculine men as, oh my gosh, something's wrong with him.
Right.
No. How about you pick up more than one book and understand that, hey, if you're dealing with a male who's operating in his manhood, he's going to be masculine,
right,
in his approach, in his thought, in his action. That doesn't mean that he's toxic. Doesn't make him wrong.
Doesn't make him abusive.
Doesn't make him abusive.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have to be abrasive.
No, not at all.
In all things.
Not at all.
But I definitely agree with that point. That there's been the terms have been misconstrued and misplaced.
Yeah.
And abusers are abusers. Right. And they're not men.
Right. Here's the thing, like, abusers are both male and female.
True. Very true.
It doesn't matter. I know. We know us some cats that take a beating. You know what I'm saying?
Physically, mentally, emotionally.
Right. Verbally. Just getting abused. And because they're nice, they sit there and take it.
Sometimes you got to flip the table.
It's necessary.
Sometimes you have to flip the table and let it be known that you're still a man.
Yep.
And that your niceness, your kindness shouldn't be mistaken for weakness.
Don't mistake it for weakness. Like I love, there was a post, Mr. Jason Wilson, he made the post and it was just pretty much just saying like, just because I present the lamb to you, it doesn't mean the lion that's in me does not exist.
Right.
It just means I make a conscious decision and effort
to be nice,
to present this lamb to you.
Right. To be kind.
Please don't make me roar.
To be long-suffering.
Right.
To be understanding.
Right.
To meet you where your needs are.
Mm-hmm.
But then sometimes there comes a point in time when you want to hop over in my lane.
Right. And therein lies the problem.
And then when I have to match your energy.
Right.
Now there's some tears shed.
That's the issue.
Oh, hold on, bro.
It's an issue.
Why you coming at me like that now? Well, I had asked multiple times, hey man, please don't disrespect me in this manner.
Right.
Hey, please don't talk to me like this. Please, don't address me as such. And then I'm just, I'm gonna talk to you however I want. Now you done toss me off the balcony. Right. And now I'm like, oh, he was just crazy.
He was just nuts.
Yeah. But I didn't want to have, respect because I, took your kindness and said, oh, you're weak. How did we get to a place where the only way that strength was viewed was through, whether it's physical force or raising of voices, and we didn't appreciate, the men or just individuals per se that, had a quiet strength that presented the land? Why did we underappreciate those things?
Let me back up on this respect part real quick so I can help some of my sisters real quick.
Get some straightening.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get a little straightening. So if you're dealing with the male who operates in his manhood, understand that this man equates love through respect.
Right.
We don't need it in the same fashion that women do.
Sure.
If we are to be loved, whether it's from friends or whomever, respect us.
Right.
Because at the moment that you do not, at that point in time, we see it and we view it as you don't love me.
Very
so
true.
You're going to get a different version of us as men. So I think that that lamb, the ability of this man to conduct himself, like you said, living in, peace, in long suffering, in servant leadership, is undervalued. One, because of what's being said, what's heard, and what's seen through these particular, social media. Yeah, these different things are seen. Like if he's not, acting a fool,
cussing you out every day,
then he doesn't really care. That's toxic. If we want to be honest,
right?
If you can't deal with somebody who cannot control their particular emotions and their outbursts, and how to speak, to you with respect, that's been undervalued for, a very long time.
Right.
Like me and some of the other guys were trying to figure out, like since undergrad, the only time you get the quote unquote respect, you see fellas, flashing out,
right,
on the young lady, which is 100% wrong.
Right.
So why is this the case? Well, for one, we as men definitely have to operate in the manhood and understand that regardless of what she may say or may not say, do your very best to keep yourself in alignment with your particular values.
With your faith system.
Yeah, with your faith system.
Right.
With how you want to be upheld. So you do that. And secondly, if, the individual that you're dealing with really doesn't understand how she is to relate to you, as a man. So that's a problem. Like you said, you're not in your particular lane. You, because of systemic things and in life, have had to be both female and male.
Right.
So the problem we run into, we don't know how to turn that down or turn it off.
Sure.
And so what's not taught oftentimes is if you present that particular energy to a man, he's going to meet you with it and then some.
True.
And therein lies the problem.
Right. Now we have a war inside a place that should be a place of peace.
That's right.
It should be a safe haven.
That's right.
A place we can all retreat to. A safe space, as we talked about a few episodes ago.
That's right.
In raising your, dealing with Luke, how do you, help him to navigate? Hey, so like you said, we always want to present, as you walk in your kingship, as you walk in becoming a man, present yourself, as a peaceable person.
Right. I think one of the ways is always making him aware of his emotion. Asking him, well, how does this make you feel? When this happens, how does this make you feel? And having him describe in his own terms
right,
how this makes him feel. And then we're able to navigate that under his particular terms
right,
that he can relate to. So therefore, he's actually understanding, hey, it's okay for me to get upset. I get upset and then I cry and then I lash out.
Right.
And so, back in the day, the first time it happened, I'm looking like,
hey, dog.
bruh, are you yelling at me?
Yeah, this ain't how this finna go.
No. And so what I had to do was, immediately, I could hear, hey, don't respond like that.
Right.
Allow him the space, like this is a safe place for you to get that out. And now my job is the teaching and the training of how we control these particular emotions.
Right.
They're okay to have them, but we can't allow them to cause us to act outside of ourselves.
We can't allow our emotions to drive us.
Right.
That's a dangerous road to go down. And I think, for in just dealing with men, if you are an emotionally driven man, and anytime something is said to you, anytime something is done to you, the first response is emotional. That's where a lot of these, problems lie.
That's right.
That's where you have, like you said, you have people that are in relationships, and the next thing you know, you don't know how to, navigate your emotions. So you get mad and you pushing somebody down.
That's right.
You slamming doors, you cussing somebody out. And as as my father taught me a long time ago, he said, son, if you got to cuss a woman, you don't need her.
Right.
That's not.
Nope.
That's not how we do those things. That's not making your home a place of peace.
Nope.
That's not any good for you or for her.
It is not.
And y'all are not for each other.
That's right.
And you need to move on away from that thing.
That is right.
Because as we know, it's better to dwell on the housetop.
Let me get the corner.
Man, let me get on away from this thing.
Yeah.
Until maybe we can calm down, come back together, and
that's right,
and talk about this.
That's right.
So in dealing with being the nice guy, but still being a man, outside of having an emotional intelligence, what would you say is a very important step in finding that balance?
Well, like you said, like there are layers and tiers to the emotional intelligence, and it's going to take some time. Like you said, in dealing with Luke, I said one of the things we have to do is make sure that we are readers.
Right.
Because being able to read, it helps you to be able to control your mind, your thoughts.
Right.
And that when emotions arise, then you have the particular thought and know how to bring it back into subjection.
Right.
Right. How to bring it back down. So the emotional intelligence is a huge factor, but then also I think the mental, strength, and then the spiritual intelligence.
Right.
The knowledge of yourself, knowledge of your guy.
And that's, for me, the ultimate nice guy.
Yeah.
Being Jesus.
Yeah.
No one nicer than him.
Right.
But there was one time.
But, however.
There was one time that brother flipped the table.
Yeah.
Because of disrespect in his father's house.
That's right.
Because, and you think about this as a man, you might take some disrespect, out on the street.
Yes.
You might take some disrespect, at work.
I take a lot.
You might be at a social event. Somebody bump into you, scuff your J's.
And that's okay, right? Because as you progress in age, you go, my bad, brother.
Cooler heads prevail.
You stepped on my shoe, but my bad.
Cooler heads can prevail, and we can rock on and move on in that thing. But when somebody breaks the threshold of your home and meets you with disrespect, in my estimation, that is an act of war.
It is.
And I will deal with you as such
It
then.
It is.
In this manner. Why do we sometimes, maybe we've, as a generation, we have gotten away from, as our parents used to say and old folks used to say, you don't have no home training.
Right.
And you don't know how to act, in people's home. We don't teach, our young males how to, still be, a nice male in somebody else's home.
That's right. Respect and manners are huge. Being cordial, knowing how to address someone in their particular home. Understanding that, hey, if the roles were reversed, wouldn't you want to be addressed in a particular manner?
Sure.
Right. So you keep that in mind. It's one of the things I teach Luke. We're always going to say, and people always ask, like, oh, he doesn't have to say, yes, ma'am, or
yes,
no,
does.
ma'am,
yes, he does.
To me because, I'm not that old or this, that, and the other. And the issue I have with it is, why do you think it's about you?
Why don't you want to be respected?
Why do you think it's about you? And as you said, too, it's a respect thing. Because he may or may not know you. And if he definitely doesn't know you, he definitely should be addressing you as sir or ma'am.
Having that small amount of respect.
It's a respect thing.
As Dad told me, Mama told him a long time ago, manners will take you further than money.
Facts.
So if I'm nice to you, if I respect you, out in your space, I might need you later down the road in life. And oh man, that was a nice, mannerable young man.
That's right.
What do you need, sir?
That's right.
How can we help you out? How can we, get you through whatever problems going on?
Yeah.
And if I just walk in, hey, what's up, B?
Right.
Oh
my God.
How dare you speak to me in this manner?
Right.
But I don't think there's been enough importance placed on making sure that just in the verbiage we use at times remains respectful.
Right.
And so let me ask you this: in being a nice guy, still being a man, how do you do that with yourself?
You're fully aware of the verbiage that you're using towards yourself. You should be ever improving upon the language,
right,
that you're using towards yourself. If you understand the thoughts that your God has towards you, then you'll understand how to address yourself. Like we said before, the value series, and we still coming with it, is saying the things that your faith system has to say about you.
Right.
That you are fearfully and you're wonderfully made.
Right.
Right. That you're made in the image of a living God.
Right.
That to understand that, this abundant life he came for, you have. So your job is to take the action steps to do that. You're the apple of his particular eye. Okay? Like we've said before, he knows the number of hairs that you have on your head, even those of us who have haircuts or who have lost their hair. He still understands and knows because he's attentive to the care and concern towards. So if this is what he thinks of you, you have to change the narrative.
Right.
The narrative can't be that you're no good. That because
myself out.
That you're cussing yourself out. That because you're a black male, the only thing you can do is go to jail and sell drugs. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's the outside narrative.
Right.
So the inside narrative is that you're a king.
Right. And you have to walk in your kingship.
You have to walk in that. Well, how do I do that? Again, I have to control the language. I have to control my thoughts. I have to bring my thoughts into subjection and understand that anytime anything brings, any thought that brings itself, in contradiction to that thought, I have to cast that particular thing down on a daily basis. How do I do that? Again, making sure I open up the particular book, making sure if I have an audio book, I'm listening to it on a regular basis to feed myself, right? Exactly what it is I need to hear. Faith comes by hearing.
Hearing
right?
by the word.
Right. So I have to continually do that, because everywhere outside, like you said earlier, I'm being disrespected on my job. Right? Because people don't understand. I'm being disrespected when I walk through the store because people don't understand.
Right.
I'm being disrespected when I get some gas because they don't understand. Right? So it's my job to make sure that I understand who I am and to whom I belong.
Very true. And do you think that in that understanding, it allows you to be that nice guy, and maybe because you didn't choke Johnny out at the 7-Eleven,
Yeah.
now you won.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. The more that I develop the strength of mind, the strength of character, the strength of identity, the more I'm able to deal with these offenses that come, right? Because that's what our book says.
It's impossible.
You know, hey, listen, offenses will come, but don't worry about it, right? Don't be surprised. So you have to arm yourself with the ability to deal with these particular things.
Sure.
Does it mean that you accept them? No. Because if you do too much, you go too far. Well,
you're getting choked at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, then you understand. But more often than not, but because, like I said, I've armed myself with the knowledge, then I can deal with you and understand that, man, sir, ma'am, you just lack a little knowledge. It's okay. While it is your fault, it is not your fault.
Right. There's probably some extenuating circumstances or factors, external and internal, that have led you to be who you are. And maybe you don't have somebody in place in your life to help shape and mold you. To be, more respectful and more cognizant of other people out in the world. Before we get out of here, bro, what is, what would you say is the number one quality of being the nice guy?
Number one quality of a nice guy, this guy is going to know that he's going to know who God is. And he's going to know that he's been given so much grace that he has to give it back.
Man, that's a deep one.
Yeah, he has to know that. He has to know that, and he has to operate from that point.
Yeah.
Because as a child, I'm not going to operate from a point of grace.
Right.
I'm gonna operate from a point of, how dare you? How dare you not give me what I want?
Right.
How dare you talk to me in that manner? How dare you
not get my juice?
You know what I'm saying? How dare you? It's the audacity of you not giving me what I want.
Right.
Right. But when you transition from childhood to manhood, then you understand. Listen, you may not know.
Right.
You just may not know. And so I'm going to operate from that particular place. And so it's my job that I understand you may not know. Come, let us reason together. We're going to have a conversation. So therefore, from this point forward, you'll never again be able to say, I don't know. It's my job to eliminate your ignorance.
You can't lay it at my feet.
You can't lay it down at my feet anymore. You can't say that, oh man, I was never in the presence of a man. Yeah, you were.
Right.
Yeah, you were.
Now you know how to act.
Now you know how to act.
How to move through these things. Yeah, I think, for me, we go back to the ultimate nice guy, like you said, being Jesus, who didn't have to.
Right.
Didn't need to.
Right.
But because of the love he had for a friend, as he said, nobody takes my life.
Nope.
But I lay it down.
Freely.
It is a choice. So every day in my manhood, as I talk with my son, it is a choice that we are humble and not hurtful.
Right.
That we rule in our dominion, not in our dominance. Because I tell him all the time, we find power in our peace.
Yes. And
peace in our power. I don't have to fight with you. I don't have to act a fool with you.
That's right.
Now there are limits to this.
Yes.
Because I'm not Jesus.
Right.
So let's not test it.
Right.
Let's not do that. But as we matriculate through life, as you said, we try to always stay, mindful of the abundance of grace that every day we get the privilege of operating in.
Yeah.
Because it could be the Old Testament.
Right.
It could be, back then.
Yeah.
And that would be rough. So, for all the fellas out there, if you're a nice guy and, you haven't had, the success you want, you haven't had the success you want in business, you haven't had the success you want in relationships, or maybe, your family's not always taking you serious, understand this is a marathon. Mm-hmm. It is not a sprint. As Nipsey said, the marathon continues. Right. As the Hebrew writer said, you got to lay aside every weight and sin, which does so easily beset you.
Evaluate.
So it's okay, to be the nice guy. Don't be, complacent. Don't be emotionally driven.
Don't be a doormat.
Yes, but it's okay to show grace to others, that you will get grace in return. Family, we sure thank you guys for tuning in with us today. We know today would not have been what it was had you not taken time out to come sit down and listen with us. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to our Instagram, YouTube, Facebook page. Hit that little bell so Jesse and I can take you to work every Wednesday morning. You guys have a great day.